All sorts of drama here trying to get ready for this segment. We're a little crazy. Sorry. Okay. Welcome to
Gamerly News. All the games that are fit to play and maybe we can talk about.
Maybe so. First things first, 10-10 in 2015. We are making progress. We played all the games this weekend. I thought we weren't going to play anything in June. Remember when I said that we might not get anything played? Well, starting Friday night, we gamed. So, do you know? I did not keep a list because...
Actually, well, I've got a list on my phone, but...
played Drizzt.
Yeah, we played Legend of Drizzt.
Charles and the kids played Drizzt. I wasn't feeling
well. We taught her sister Small World.
Oh, yes, Small World.
Which was... Yeah,
here it is.
It's an awesome game. We can talk about that at some point.
Otherwise, it was one of our 2x2s this month.
It's kind of like Risk, but better.
I don't like Risk.
And
I win, but I don't. It's fun.
We played the My Little Pony game, the card game.
We played with the new Discord set. It was a little better.
Yeah, they're improving each iteration.
I didn't hate it with a loathing, seething, hissing passion, but it was still not fun. I don't recommend it. I still don't recommend it. We'll see. It's got 4 more plays this year. We'll see if I change my mind. It's going to be a hard sell, though.
We played Takenoko.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
We played that other game.
We played D&D this morning.
Oh, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
And we played Lord of the Rings card game. And
that was fun, too.
Yeah, we're playing through the plot of The Hobbit.
I have a dwarf deck now. I was like 2 Snow Whites. I had like 14 dwarfs in front of me. It was so fun. I like my dwarf deck a lot. If you are interested in dwarf decks, PM me and I will send you the information that we used to make mine.
Yes. And this scenario, most of the game is made up stories. And this one, we're playing through the actual scenes from The Hobbit. This include the escape from the goblins and Riddles in the Dark, which thematically was a lot of fun.
It was not well done.
Mechanically, it could use
it needs some tweaking, but the actual stage was fun, so we liked that. Anything else?
There's probably something else. I don't know what.
I don't know. We hadn't played Small World in over 2 years, so it counted as our 100 unique games to play this year, so that was fun. And I'm way better at it than when we played it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2.5, 3 years ago when we first got it, I was a very new gamer. Like a Sorry Monopoly. That sounds like Sorry Monopoly. Sorry the game. Monopoly the game. Taboo. All those fun things. Pictionary. I was the queen of Pictionary. I was. I love Pictionary. But I hadn't played any of these like fancy schmancy board games. So Small World was really overwhelming when we first learned it. I thought it was fun, but totally overwhelming. Now today I'm like, wait, so there's only 3 things to do on my turn? Awesome! So I enjoyed it a lot more. It's one that has definitely become more fun as I get better about thinking through and learning the mechanics of gaming. So
yeah. I think that's pretty much all of them.
Yep.
And yeah, so the only one we have left to play to get caught up is Belfort.
We have 2 plays of it, but to make those 2 plays...
The expansion.
The expansion. I love it.
Yes, because these Taster Mystery guys have a lot of good humor.
Yes, their games are fun and funny. So, now, technically we do not have to play those this month, but we want to finish our 10-10 in October, so we're trying to play every game once a month.
Yeah.
Actually, it's 11 games because we were playing our alternate. But Belfort is the only one we've missed. We missed it last month waiting for the expansion to come in. The expansion to come in. So I'm going to give Charles the platform for just a minute to talk about Tiny Epic Kingdoms because we are enjoying it and it is something, the expansion for it, we are backing on Kickstarter. Yeah. But he explains that more succinctly than I do. Succinct.
Yes. It is another tiny box. So it's pocket size if you happen to be basically a man with large cargo pants. Because they make our clothes bigger. Our daughter is very
my 11-year-old
has disparity.
Figured out that boys get big pockets that are useful and girls get little decorative pockets that are sewn shut. And it's a constant source of, these pants don't have usable pockets. Boys get all the good stuff.
I think that's why she's going to go into fashion design. She's going to fix this.
She's going to fix this problem. Stylish, cute clothes with usable pockets for women. I told her she'd be rich because We need usable pockets. But yes, this would fit in a men's cargo pocket. That's why it's called pocket size.
Yes. And it is, we played this last month, May, for our 2x2.
Hold it.
Okay. But it is, essentially, it's a civilization building game. And so you're going out and you're putting out people and you're conquering territories and you're researching technologies. And it's a lot of fun. And you've got a lot of fantasy races to be. There's centaurs and elves and dwarves and gnomes and goblins. So this was originally a Kickstarter. They are now, and we're currently backing the expansion to this on Kickstarter. And I'll put the link in the show notes. But it adds a few more races, and it adds an additional resource. So there's basically more things to do. There's heroes that you get that they're better at conquering, and they're a different path to victory. And it all takes about 30 minutes. So it feels like a bigger game, but it takes not a whole lot of time. Also, with that, they are kickstarting the second edition of this. So they've updated the rules a little bit, and for first edition people, you can print those out, or I think they've got an add-on because they've changed some of the little wooden tokens that come in it. So there's an upgrade kit if you already have the first edition, and if not, you can just back the second edition and this one, and the expansion, or just one or the other. And I think there's a deluxe version and a basic version. The basic version is only like $16, and the deluxe is $20 or $25. But it's a lot of fun. We've enjoyed it. So that's why we're backing the expansion.
Yes.
And that is that.
That is that. I'll put all this up later.
Okay.
Okay, game of the week this week. I have talked about it, mentioned it briefly a couple times, and I have Instagram friends who have bought it, and they have enjoyed it too. So that made me even more excited to share it, because I have really eclectic taste sometimes, and I'll read things, and then all my friends will pick it up and go, "Really, Rebecca? You loved this? Really?" Or, I'll recommend a game or a movie, and they'll be like, "Are you sure?" So always take my recommendations, with a grain of, what do you take it with? A grain of
Salt.
Sand. I don't remember.
Sand.
This week's game of the week is Diamonsters. If you play Machikoro, you will be familiar with the artwork, because
Same artist, same company. I think it's a different designer.
okay, I may have been saying that wrong. I don't remember. But definitely the same artist in the same company. This is a trick-taking set building game. The way rounds work, if you have played Love Letter, this will feel very familiar to you. You play a round. Whoever wins that round takes a diamond. The first person to the required number of diamonds wins the game. 2 players, you get 5 diamonds. 3 players is 4. 4 players is 3. So, more people, fewer rounds, because the rounds take longer. It is recommended for 2 to 6 players. We've played it with 4. Have we played with more or less than that? 5. We played with 5 or 6 with the Thatchers.
Yeah.
And it played fun with all those levels. It takes about 20 minutes. We have played faster. And ages 10 and plus. But I would say that with a lot of these games, if you know how to play it and your 7, 8, 9-year-old plays with you and you're willing to work them through and explain the process to them, that I would say considerably younger than 10 could probably play it.
Yeah.
And I think the younger they are and the less strategy forming it is, it's all the more fun to beat the grown-ups. So your basic pieces in the box are round tokens to mark that you won the round, and a stack of monster cards. Rawr. There are only 5 different cards in the deck. They are numbered 1 through 5. Each one has a monster on it and a number of diamonds. This one is 2. These are, just for reference, separate from these pieces. Different parts of the game. This just marks wins. This is actually the diamonds that this card uses for the game.
That's one backwards. Never mind. There you go.
2, and he has 2 diamonds. 1 has 2 diamonds.
3
has none. 4 eats 2 of your diamonds, so that's -2 diamonds. And 5 has 1. So everyone starts with the same hand. And there is a stack of cards. Everything that's left is shuffled and put out in front of you. You flip the top card over, and we are going to blind bid for this card. So everyone's going to pick a card in their hand. They're going to hold it out. They're going to flip it over. And in almost every case, whoever holds out the highest card wins. The exceptions to that are, if there is a tie for highest, the next lowest takes it. So two of you turn over 4s, trying to get it, and someone turns over a 3, the 3 wins because the 4s knocked each other out. The other very tricky, this made it fun, exception is if there is 1 5 revealed and 1 1 revealed and everything else is other numbers, then the 1 takes it. A single 1 beats a single 5. So that adds some strategy. If you win the bid, you take the card that you bid on and the card that you won with, and you lay them down in front of you. You draw up to 5, so in this case I would add a 4 to my hand. The next card is flipped over. This would be a 1, and we start bidding again. We keep doing that until someone wins the round.
How do you win the round?
How do you win the round? Hey, I've never had someone ask the question for me before. I always ask myself the question. 2 ways to win a round. The first is to get 3 of any monster in front of you. So 3 1s, 3 2s, 3 3s will all win you the diamond. The other way to win is to have a total of 5 diamonds in front of you. So in this case, this one has 2, this one has 2, that would be 4, but let's say you use a 4 to take something, so now you're down -2, so you only have 2. You won something with a 3, it doesn't help you, and then you had to get 3 of these. So the total number of live diamonds on here is 5. So once these cards were laid down in front of you, or any variation that equals 5, you would win. You take a diamond, you keep your hand as it is, and you start again. And you keep doing that until someone has won the appropriate number of tricks. No, not tricks, of these. I will say, we've played probably 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah.
I've taken 1. 1 trick. So I lose horribly every single time. It is still way fun.
Yeah.
Similar to Love Letter, and probably even more similar to Pairs, it plays really fast.
Yeah.
You know, the whole game takes 20 minutes at most. It goes very quick. It's fun. It's silly. I like games that have an element of luck to them because I don't want to be at my fault if I lose. So this one is very easy that either I had the wrong hand or just, it's my fault I guessed wrong. But it's still fun. We've laughed a lot as we've played. It's a good palate cleanser. It is in a relatively small box, so it's good for traveling. It's good for non-gamers because very simple, familiar. Everyone lays out a card. Whoever plays the highest card takes the trick. That's a very familiar mechanic for most people who have ever played cards. Lots of card games run on that mechanic. So it was not too expensive. I don't remember.
It was, I want to say 15 or 20.
15 or 20. So not outrageous. The artwork is adorable. I did not feel compelled to sleeve the cards. They seem like they're going to hold up fine.
Oh, there you go. It is. I was wrong.
Yes.
From the designer and artist of Machikoro.
I thought so, but I wasn't sure. So I do think that's what I've been saying. You can go back and check the previous few episodes and see how many times I said it right and how many times I said it wrong. I don't care. So that is about all I know. What do you need to do this week? You need to play your 10x10 and 2x2 games. If you don't know what those are, go to the Fiber and Dice group. Join the group. You have to be a group to win anything from anything we do. You can read up on those. If you have questions, PM me and I will give you all the details. Go and order fiber and or yarn for the spin along. Go check out the Bluebonnet Fiber shop and see if there's anything in there you want. And have fun spinning for Tour de Fleece. And try the bathtub cleaning trick. See if it helps you. If you have a better bathtub cleaning trick, tell me about it. I will put all of those things to do in the show notes. If you join our group and you're new, go to the introduction thread, the Who Are You thread, and let me know who you are, so I will know who you are and how you found us and what you like. You can post a shelfie, a picture of your game shelf if you want, or your bookshelf, or your cats or dogs. I like pet pictures too. I like pictures of bookshelves and game shelves and pets. And kids. I like kids too. They're pretty easy to please. Pretty much anything you post, I'm going to click love on and tell you how cool it is because I'm like that. So, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, I will see you guys again in early July, and we will talk more about the spin along and games and all the good things, all the fiber and dice things. Bye. Hello, and welcome to episode 41 of the Fiber and Dice podcast. I'm your host, Rebecca. You can find me as Engineers Falcon on Instagram and Ravelry. You can find my blog with shop information and show notes at www.bluebonnetfibers.com. You can find the group for Bluebonnet Fibers, that's my handspun, on Ravelry by searching for Bluebonnet Fibers, and you can find the group for the Fiber and Dice podcast on Ravelry by looking for Fiber and Dice. So, welcome back. It is the end of June. This will be my last June podcast, I strongly suspect. So, I'm excited. Lots of interesting things coming up, including a cat who's fixing to get banned from the table because she's being a snot. What? Oh. The engineer tried to move her and she tried to take his hand off. I will boot her out if it becomes necessary, and then she will be really mad for the rest of the night and bite my feet while I sleep. She's that kind of cat. Okay, I have so many new things that I don't even know where to start. The things that I am working on, you've seen this before in a slightly less done state. This is the Nebula yarn that I'm spinning to put in the shop. It is going to be a chain yarn, so I'm doing two plies, and then I will ply those together to make a chain yarn. And I love it. Look at all those colors. The fiber was dyed by Yarn vs. Zombies. It was a Year of the Geek colorway. I have this bobbin finished. I've got the first ply of the second ply, the first single of the second ply done. And I will hopefully finish that all up this week. This is the slowest yarn I have ever spun. It's very thin. It's smoothing. It's spinning very smooth and very beautiful, but it's taking a long time. But that's okay. I like it anyway. So that's what I'm working on. I've got new progress to show on that. Oh, this episode is going to be called Make Your Own Yarn Retreat because the cool people that I like, not all of them, but a lot of them are at Zombie Knitpocalypse this weekend. And since I didn't get to do that, I have been having all my own knitting and yarn fun. And part of that has been Christine. She's KDLB, and she has the Yarnings podcast. Can you come get this cat, please? Mm-hmm. I'm going to try to hold it still while she rams into it over and over and over. She sent me a skein of yarn because I think she had gotten it to give to me and get to meet each other for the first time in real life. Yarnings podcast does say that. I don't remember what I said before the cat got in the way, but she sent me this gorgeous yarn. It is by Alexandra's Crafts. It is the Sea Anemone colorway. It is 60% superwash, 20% silk, and 20% yak. And it is just beautiful. So, as part of making my own knit retreat, I started the Father Time cowl, and it is knitting beautifully. Make sure I'm showing you the front. I am. So I'm on a circular needle. That's more what it looks like. The emphasis, even though it's a lace pattern, becomes on these diagonal, the stockinette stitches. So, and Christine sent me meeple stitch markers. How perfect is that? And there's a purple one on here. There it is. They're not technically 100% mandatory for this project, but I use them to divide. It's a cast on of 300. So I use them to divide sections of 100. And so I would know where my round started, and then I would know how far around I was making it, because it's pretty scrunched up on that circular needle. So that is part of what I've been doing this weekend, and I'm going to keep working on it, hopefully finish it this week. I know I say I'm going to finish stuff, and then I'm very slow to finish stuff, but that's the goal. That's what I'm working towards. What else do I have? Next up on the wheel is something I'm very excited about. This is from Created by LCB. I've spun some of her stuff before, put some of her stuff in my shop. She sent me, this is Created by LCB, she sent me Wicked Lovely on 50% merino, 50% tencel, and it's her Wicked Lovely colorway, and it is so fun. Greens and pinks and purples and some yellowy, almost peachy, but not quite. This is gorgeous. She donated this to, well, she sent it to me, and then I'm going to spin it, and then we will be donating it to the Geeky Puffin Knit Palooza that Cece and Damaris and Knit Run Dig are doing in Scotland later this year. So this will be a door prize for that. So that's the very next thing I'm going to spin, and I'm very excited about it. There was more goodies in the mail. Moon Rover, I've spun some of her yarn before and loved it, sent me a box of awesomeness. She has donated a copy. They ended up with 2 copies of Letters to Santa. This is the Christmas variation of Love Letter. And so she had sent this to be a giveaway. So the giveaway for this will be coming up at some point. I have to show this off because it is so cool. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that someone would put this much effort into a thank you for doing a podcast thing, but I love it. This is a pot holder. I'm actually going to hang it on my wall as art. And it is hand quilted of a 20-sided dice, a D20. So how awesome is that? And then, even or as more awesome, she sent fiber. And I have seen her put this when she puts it on her shop updates. And I fell in love with it months ago. And it showed up on my doorstep. This is the Primrose colorway. And it is so pretty bundled, I don't want to unwrap it. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous fiber. So she sent one for me to spin. And she sent one for a giveaway for you guys. So I will be announcing those things coming up very soon. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to use the giveaways for, but that is more exciting awesomeness coming up. So I think that, and I have this awesomeness that I got in the mail this week. This is, let me see what this colorway is called. I've forgotten. Sapphire Cove, I think. Yes, Sapphire Cove. This was dyed by FatCatKnits. We love FatCatKnits on this podcast. It is 75% BFL, 25 Tussa Silk, and this is her Tour de Fleece colorway for this year. And I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I may have to sneak it in amongst all the other very important pressing things I need to spin because it is gorgeous. So, now, this next little segment I'm going to do, I will not do every week, but I'm going to do probably at least once a month, and that is to just give you a quick rundown of what is in the Bluebonnet Fibers shop. So if there is anything you are interested in, I know that not everyone watches every podcast, so when I randomly say I'm putting this in the shop this week, you may not get to see all of that, so I thought maybe at the end of every month I would say, hey, this is everything that's in my shop. So if you're not interested in shop updates, it will not take very long, and I will not do it every single week, I promise. This is Selene. She is yellows and grays and purples. This is 2 small skeins of 3-ply. They are called Waiting for Autumn. This is one of my favorite spins ever. I just love those colors all together. And the 3-ply makes it so bouncy and soft and fun. This was spun from an art bat. This is Punk Art. And so it is thick and thin and textury and delicious. This is chocolate mint chip. It's a 2-ply, and it is one of the longer ones. It's 309 yards of browns and a little bit of grays and greens. I have Persephone. She is on, this is a very luscious spin. 50% superfine merino, 25% rose, 17% merino, 8% gold stellina, and I plied it with a bronze thread. It is soft and fluffy and thick and delicious. So this was created by LCB, and it was a limited edition colorway. So this will probably be the only time I ever get to have it in the shop. I have Lucifer. 2-ply. I love this. I have, oh, you guys have seen this one but not finished because it was one of my lessons learned last week. This is Sand Sunset Surf. I love it so much. It's a gradient. Look at those gorgeous colors. And the only other thing that's currently in the shop is Mountain Mist. And this is grays. This was still on a bobbin last week when you saw it. It is actually one long ply of an amethyst colorway, and then the second single was darker purples and grays and almost some greenish purples. You can kind of see some of those colors in here. So that is what is currently in the Bluebonnet Fibers shop. If you are interested in any of that, go over and check it out and get all the details on it. And I hope you buy some of them, but I don't want you to feel like you have to. I know that it's Tour de Fleece season, so everyone is doing lots of spinning. I understand that. I plan to be doing tons of spinning. Probably the only official team I will spin with is FatCatKnits because I always spin with FatCatKnits. That's the only team I've ever spun with. In fact, I was a pretty new spinner the first time I spun with her group, and they were so very nice that I always get one or two things from her to spin specifically for the tour. So I think that's everything that is like currently in front of me. That's things that are climbing the mountain, the things that have sort of finished, and some of base camp. This is base camp. This is base camp, and you're fixing to see tons of base camp in the next segment, which I'm going to put all this away and get set up for. And I will be back just a minute with all the good news about the FatCatKnits Yarn Along. So I will be right back. One of the best things about not getting to go to ZK was that when Ginny at FatCatKnits had our colorways for our Yarn Along ready, I got to be here to order and to have it when it came and to start promoting it and get the thread set up and all of that. So, Yarn Along official dates will be July 15th through October 15th. So you will have 3 months. Ginny will be on vacation July 6th through 12th. So any orders that you don't get in before about July 2nd, which I know is only a couple days away, will be shipped to you after she's back from vacation. But I've left it going long enough that that shouldn't be a huge problem. We have not picked the final date that they will be on sale in the shop, but they will not stay in the shop forever. So you want to get in and order them while you can. Our 2 winners for colorways were Dungeons & Dragons and Sushi Go. So the first colorway is the Dungeons & Dragons colorway, and it is called Quest. And it is gorgeous. I have it on everything she made it on. This is Quest on superwash merino nylon. And it is browns and greens and questing into the woods, into the forest, into the dark castle colors. Knights and dwarves and questing and some golds, and I love it. So that's one of the bases it's available on. Targi. And so you can see how different the different bases took the colors. And I've forgotten what this one is already. Oh, I can't believe I forgot this because this is the one. These 2 I'm going to spin and put in the shop. And this one I'm keeping for myself because it's on Variegated BFL, and that is one of my all-time favorite bases. There is Quest on the Variegated BFL. I love the depth that the variegation gives to colorways. And for the non-spinners among us, which I know there are quite a few, it's on sock yarn. I love it. Look at that. Look at those gorgeous colors. Because of the process she used to make these, there will be a little more variation between individual braids. And she talks about that some in the listing. You can go to her website, FatCatKnits.com, I'm pretty sure. Yep. And right at the top, there's a button on the right-hand column. The very top one says Fiber and Dice, Spin Along, Knit Along. And you can get in there and get all the details about all of this. So the second winner was Sushi Go, and that colorway is named Sushi, and she incorporated all the colors she thinks of when she thinks of eating sushi, and it is gorgeous. Look at that. Look at those pinks and yellows and peaches. Oh, I love it. This one will be, I'll spin this one for the shop, and I will spin it for the shop on merino nylon. Love it. Look at that. Look at those colors. And for my very own self, and I might order some more of these to put in the shop. We'll see, because I love it on variegated so much. Look at that. And of course on sock yarn. So these will not be in the shop forever. They are limited edition for us for a certain period of time. At some point she can add them to her regular line if she wants to, but for the time being they are just ours. Anyone can order them. If you don't plan to yarn along, if you don't want to spin along or knit along right now but still want these, go and order them. Order them up, because they are gorgeous colorways, and she has worked so hard on them, and can you guys tell I'm smitten? I'm really smitten with yarn. I don't know, this might be create your own retreat, make your own knitting retreat, or it might be totally smitten with yarn, or both, because I like long titles. That's why I read books called things like The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making, and now I can't remember the name of the other one, the one I finished this week. The Curious Incident Case of the, let me think, the werewolf that wasn't, the mummy that was, and the cat in the jar. I got it. I don't know what hand signals he was giving, but they gave me no indication of, I don't know what R means, but maybe werewolf. This is why we don't play charades in this house, because neither one of us are good at this game. So there are 2 threads when you go to the Fiber and Dice group. One is a chatter thread. It is already open, so as you get your yarn, as you decide what you're going to start doing with it, share pictures, chat away. There will be one prize at the end from that thread. I will draw a random number from that thread, and I will send a braid of FatCatKnits to whoever wins that. So there will be a prize off the chatter thread. The other thread is the finished objects thread. That will be a no chatter thread, because it makes it too hard to draw for finished objects. So if there's chatter, I will be redirecting it or deleting it and all those mean mod things that please don't, so I don't have to say, take your chatter somewhere else. But just don't chatter there so I don't have to feel mean. But you may enter one post per finished object, but as many finished objects as you finish with either of these colorways over the next 3 months, you can enter to win. As it stands right now, Ginny will be giving away 2 bats and a braid of fiber. So that is awesome that she put her time and energy into creating all of this stuff for us, and then she's going to give away 3 of her things. She's very awesome. So I will open the finished objects thread on the 15th. That's when we officially start. We start July 15th and we go through October 15th. And on October 15th, I'll close everything down, and I will probably film just as close to that. I would love to say I'm going to film on the 16th with everything drawn, but we all know I'm a little scattered. So I'm very good at organizing, but I tend to get a little distracted when it comes to these kinds of things. So That is all I know about that. So, yes, look at all this. I don't even know if I can hold all this awesomeness at one time. Will it all fit on the screen at once? Oh, it will. I think I can fit it on. There you go. There are your choices. Go, shop, choose patterns, ponder how you're going to spin it, get ready, get excited, and we will start in just a couple weeks. Okay, I'm going to go put all this fiery goodness away, and I will be back to talk ducks in a row and games. So, I'll see you in a little bit. Bye. Ducks in a row this week. Ducks in a row is a solution to my most hated cleaning issue in my house. I have fought with scrubbing my bathtubs the entire time I have had a bathtub of my own to scrub. My father is a saint. He always scrubbed our bathrooms at home. So we cleaned buildings a lot growing up, like 3 buildings twice a week. We spent a lot of time cleaning as a family. And I think that my parents, my dad especially, well, and my mom too, both my parents, felt that because we were doing honors classes and things in school and cleaning buildings a lot, that was enough cleaning. And so they did a lot of the cleaning at home. And so when we grew up, I had to learn a house cleaning routine for my own house and not for someone else's, because I'd been cleaning other people's houses and other people's office buildings my whole life, but not my own. And I will be quite honest, in almost 17 years of marriage, and the time that I lived in a little house next door to my parents, that I never got good at scrubbing the tub. I scrub the tubs, but I hate this chore. It hurts my back. It hurts my knees. The tub is big and I can't reach across. I bought I have tried lots of things. The Mr. Clean Magic Eraser for bathtubs, and our textured bathtubs eat through it in less than one cleaning, and I still have to lean way across. I got those great big long sticks with the scrubber on the end, which are great for the walls, but horrible for the bottom of the tub, which is where I have so much trouble. I've gotten in the tub in like cleaning clothes and bare feet to scrub the tub. I have never had luck with the tub. And over the last couple months, I was having so much trouble getting my bathtub clean and not hating it that I almost hired someone just to clean my bathtub because I hated it so much. But I have a solution and it works. So if your bathtub cleaning method works great for you, let me know what it is, because it might even be able to tweak mine. But this is what I'm doing. This is my bathtub cleaning kit. I start with scrubbing bubbles, and I put a thick layer of scrubbing bubbles down and let them sit. I do not scrub the scrubbing bubbles. I let them scrub for me. I let them sit until they are not all the way dry, because if they dry all the way, you have to go back and do it all again, because then they just leave ugly marks and it doesn't look any better. And then I use my big pitcher to rinse everything off. And that usually does a good job on the walls and a decent job on the bottom of the tub, but the bottom of the tub and the ring, I still couldn't get. So this week, in absolute desperation, I grabbed what used to be, is not anymore, my dish sponge. It's a miracle worker. The shape and the angle make it so easy to scrub the bottom and the sides of the bathtub. It was a little slippery. It was hard because, dish soap is, when you put too much dish soap, it's kind of hard to rinse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to water this down a little bit. But it took all of the grime and all of the gunk, this little bit of dish soap and water, all the way off. Our bathtubs looked great, and it took like 2 minutes. And the geeklings can use this to scrub their own tub because it's so easy and it's not chemically. So I do this first so that they don't breathe fumes, or the engineer does it. He's good at helping with the tubs. And then rinse, and then scrub the bottom and the sides where it's really particularly grimy with this. Rinse again, and my bathtub looks better than it has ever looked before, except when we moved in and it was brand new. So that is my ducks in a row this week, using this. This is like life-changing for scrubbing the bathtub. So, tip of the week, duck in a row in a week. Easy way to get the bathtubs clean that you can set your children to doing to help.